Today's National Game Show Day. By the way, I've been watching those all day. All these old game shows. It's my day, man. I love that stuff. Love this stuff.
I like the one Press Your Luck.
Oh yeah. That's a current one for me. Like today, they're showing stuff from like the '60s, and there was one. Now you see it. It's like almost like an old crossword puzzle game.
Oh,
You rarely see that one, but we used to watch that one when it was on like at 3:00 in the morning, right after Mallory came home from the hospital, like when we couldn't sleep. Yeah, we used to watch it. It was really weird how they played it, but it was really like kind of interesting.
all right. You got to start watching the Columbos, man. I'm telling you.
I think there might be a Colombo channel on Pluto TV.
Oh, seriously? We watch it on Peacock, but
Peacock.
Peacock has it, but they're so good. My whole family, me and Steve and Hannah, are like, "Oh, it's Sunday night." My mom told me they used to have like a Sunday night like mystery show or something, and that Columbo would be on it. Like they would have a Columbo episode sometimes, not all the time, but it was a Columbo episode. Peter Falk was like an acting genius. He is so good.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast of a guy, he's called the Retroist, and he does a podcast called the Retroist Podcast. So he talks like he's big into like, retro stuff, right?
Yes.
And he worked in movies like as a just like an intern kind of thing. And one day he had to drive Peter Colombo like to the set and back from his hotel.
Yeah.
That's like his hero. Like, cause he was a big Colombo fan, and he just like, he was in awe. They didn't talk much, but he told stories. He's like, I couldn't believe I had to drive him in the car.
He's just so good. He's just really so good.
Yeah, I do need to watch that though, because I've always been curious about it. Okay, let's get a question here.
And it's the best part is who did it at the beginning of the resort.
Episode.
Resort on the
We're so travel agent.
Everything relates to a resort.
It does. I'm telling you, man, that's my life. I just added my transfers today after the cruise. That was sad, but I had to add them. So we're not stuck at the port. Hey, Fulton, congratulations. You're going to be on TV. Oh, my gosh. This Thursday at 5.
Great job, Fulton.
Special Olympics. 14 years. You're almost as many times like we've been doing the podcast.
Right?
Put us together. We're 30 years. Good job, Fulton. I wish I could see that. It's cool. Is it online? Let me know. Okay, so we are going to take listener questions, and we need questions. Teachers, we know you're out of school. As long as you're not on the East Coast, you're just sitting home like my wife. No, she's doing a ton of stuff. She's scheduling all kinds of cheerleading stuff. So when I was in school, they used to be called team pictures, right? When our baseball team would get our team.
Yeah.
That's what they were called. Now it's called Media Day. She's setting up media. Oh, yeah, because they bring in the smoke and it's a whole thing. So she's setting up Media Day. I'm like, what's Media Day? I'm like, are they going on the news? She's like, no. It used to be called Becoming Varsity, because you should see these pictures, right? I mean, it looks like, like when the National Signing Day and these athletes go to like they sign with their college.
Yes.
Do now. It's ridiculous.
Oh gosh, everything's a much bigger deal.
Oh my God,
when we were younger, right?
You're in the gym and the gym's like blacked out, but they have neon lights in the background and smoke. I mean, I don't even know. I never did ask what the package costs, like for the pictures, because
you're better off.
They're cool looking and they look great on the frame up at the living room.
Right.
But I do not want to know what they cost.
Yeah. No, that's a valid concern.
Oh, Pam's going to retirement celebration. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so listener questions. So we need questions from listeners. So Nichelle, you are listening on YouTube and watching. So that qualifies you for a question. And since you have Captain Mickey, it looks like that could be a cruise question, and I have cruise on the brain. And Pam,
we're handing out assignments.
We are.
If you dare to stop by, you have an assignment.
That's right. If we catch you watching, we are going to request that you ask a question today, because we were in the middle of the day and it's not our normal time. So we don't have 1,000 listeners.
Not our normal
watchers. Well, we have some in the inbox. I mean, they're from 2010, but we'll probably get them right, because it's time. Okay, here we go. This is episode 20. So we're going to backdoor into 2500 because 2500 will end up being Thursday's replay of Sunday night show. So Friday 2501. So how anticlimactic is that? Oh,
Wah, wah.
I know, totally. When I was editing last night, I'm like, well, that was stupid.
We're more interested in episode maybe 2525.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like. I'm like, that was so us. That is so par for the course for us. I'm like,
yes. Didn't plan enough in advance.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did I get about episode 2400? I realized it when I was editing it and uploading it. I'm like, well, that was dumb. Anyway. All right, here we go. Michelle's got a good look at that. She listens and she got the assignment. Here we go.
Check. Your assignment's complete. We'll give you the gold star for the day.
And one we can probably get the right answer for. So bonus.
True.
All right, here we go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show rolling. And Eric's got one. Oh, we're rolling here now. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2499 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rahman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. Today, we are here to answer your listener questions as we do each and every Wednesday. And of course, to keep you entertained and informed with everything Disney. And today, I'm doing this with one of my best friends in the world. She's the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel and your favorite Pittsburgher. We have Pam Forrester. What's going on, Pam? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. So Pittsburgher makes it seem like it's like a sandwich or something.
Dude, whatever. Permanentes and Pittsburghers. I mean, two great things.
I know. So happy Wednesday, everyone. Looking forward to doing another podcast, and apparently we're coming up very soon on 2500.
Well, we were talking about this in the pre-show before we started recording. Typical Be Our Guest podcast style. We're going to kind of backdoor into 2500. It's going to be tomorrow's episode, which we recorded on Sunday night. It's a replay, so it's not even going to be a huge celebration. It's in the can. We recorded Scott and I Sunday night by accident because it's a replay. So yeah, we'll have some kind of a big 2500 episode celebration at like 2525 or something down the road.
I picture us not like coming in the back door, like coming in like, you know, how like Kramer rolls into Seinfeld's apartments or like not even sure how he got there. That's sort of what's happening here.
Exactly. I don't even watch Seinfeld, but I've seen that online. So at least I can appreciate that because I've seen just like how he just kind of explodes into a room. I can take that. Yes. They say we're going to come in hot when you don't expect.
Yes.
All right. So what's real quick and you know, we don't have to make this, you know, we love Ricky. She's not here today because apparently it's the end of it's busy time with taxes and the baby situation. Cause you know, Ricky's a new mom still. True. I mean, you know, I don't think that baby Lucy's got a driver's license yet. I don't think she's self-sufficient quite yet. Even though by the time she's 3, she'll think she is. Wait till she gets to the terrible 2s and 3s and all that stuff. I can't wait. That'll be funny. I'm kind of like the mean uncle. But what's going on with you? Like as far as trips, you're headed down to some cool stuff here in the next little bit, right?
No, yeah. So I'll be on the Magic, and we are going to be some of the first to check out Lighthouse Point. The first stop there. Lookout Point. Okay, seriously, Disney, please help me out. Let's start making names easy.
And what are the because it's all about acronyms with Disney, right? So give us, what are the acronyms going to be for?
I don't know, but I'm going to say if I ever run for president, I'm going to say, let's make names simple again. That's going to be my slogan.
And no freestyle Coke machines, for real.
I mean, seriously. So looking forward to that. Can't wait to see it. And then after that, we'll be experiencing Tiana's new attraction there at the Magic Kingdom. And you know, of course, the preview is out there. Disney actually released a ride through itself, I think, to get a jump on other folks, right, who may do it.
Sunday night, that was my hot take on Sunday Night's Live.
Right?
I'm like, Disney. Here, real quick, here was my take on this. I felt like I was Jake Paul in the ring with Mike Tyson because I'm trying to stay spoiler free on this sucker till I actually get down there, and I'm not going to get down there right away. And Dude, my thumbs have blisters on them over the last like 48 hours. Every time I would see a video come, these are Disney release videos. I'm like,
Right?
Disney, why are you trying to spoil me every 17 seconds on social media? Knock it off. I mean, come on
It's
now.
true. It's true. So, I've only like you, I'm trying to stay spoiler free until I get to experience it myself. But of course, I caught some fleeting moments, and
Yeah.
the animatronics on this look so good.
Yeah.
Like there was one of the sections I saw was Tiana, and it looked like an actor was there playing that. So it looks like it really sort of took some of the great aspects of that attraction that were there when it was Splash Mountain, and then it sort of I think plus that. I think we can say that. The only thing is, and this is like my own daughter, she's like, I heard they took the boat out at the end. I'm like, okay, Han, thank you for that. I mean,
Spoiler, Hannah.
right.
I just had to ban one of our listeners, John Luther. He just said, I heard this big drop into the water. Banned. I just banned it. You guys are terrible. I'm banning left and right.
So anyways, I'm looking forward to the attraction. There's going to be a camera mount on our boat, Mike's. Remember when you did that
Oh,
with
the
the seven
$7
doors?
right after? Yeah, the Gabe can, I called it, because
Yes.
Gabe from
Yes.
Good Luck Charlie was on before me. Yeah.
Right. They'll get to see my true reaction. So anyways, so looking forward to that. There will be screaming at the end. I mean, in a good way. I'm not afraid of it, but of course that drop is significant. When you get to the top and you look down, you're like for a moment, huh, here it is, the big drop. But anyways, looking forward to it. So glad that we're having another blockbuster attraction opening up for the summer, and lots of good stuff going on this summer. I was just thinking, I'm really craving a trip to just enjoy some pool time. So
Amen. Oh,
I know, right?
I feel you. I
I
feel you.
know, I know. It's
Right.
like pretend you're at a really nice community pool that has drinks and food that can be brought to you. I mean, there's something to be said for that. So
In a gurgling suitcase.
a
That's what
gurgling suitcase.
yes.
Yeah.
Amen. So, do you remember when we used to have a co-host who was scared of that hill on Splash Mountain? Or back at well, Splash Mountain, not Seattle. That was a long time ago.
Yes.
That just brought that memory to me. Okay,
Yes.
so that's for the OG folks that have been with us a long time. 90% of our audience is like, "What are you talking about?"
What?
You had to be here a long time ago. That's a shout out to the 10% that have been with us forever. You're old, by the way. So real quick, I had something else I was going to say that you brought up, but I totally just because again, old. I totally just forgot it. We're so old. This
Mid sentence.
It'll come back. Maybe, probably not. All right. So let's get to the first question while I try to ponder what I just forgot. Michelle, who we begged for a question, she has one. When you do a double dip, which if you don't know, double dip would be a back to back. I guess a double dip is usually a double dip is referred to as going to Castaway Key twice in one sailing is usually what I call a double dip. But I think she's talking about back to back, possibly.
Agreed. Yes.
When you do a back to back cruise and you have the same stateroom on both cruises, do they make you pack up your room, or can we leave our things? Pam Forrester, I'm sure you've done one of these, right?
Yes, they do not make you pack up your things, but they do make you get off the ship. So I know, right? But no, when we have done it, they have let us leave all of our stuff in the room, not make us pack up anything, and then they sort of backdoored us off the ship and right back on the ship. It has something to do with customs and getting on and off and all of that stuff. But they made it super, super easy. And it's so fun to do back to back. And people might say, well, why would you do that? Well, the reason is typically you'll get to do a 7-night cruise, right? With a 4 and a 3. And you'll typically get to experience Castaway Key twice, or who knows with now the new island, what that will look at like in that respect. And I think there's a benefit to getting to experience the same sort of restaurant rotations, both cruises. There's a lot of pluses for a back-to-back as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. How do you feel about the back-to-back, Mike?
I agree too. What it does is it takes the urgency from the first cruise out of the picture, right? Because I think what it does, it gives you 7-night cruise, and it gives you, so for example, on the, whether the 3-night or the 4 nights, the first cruise, when you go to Castaway Key on the first cruise, you don't feel like you're not stressed, right? We're
Right.
coming back, because I mean, this happens like, because we've done with the podcast cruise, we've done 5-night cruises where we've stopped at Castaway Key twice. We've done that a couple of different podcast cruises. And the thing was, it was so relaxing both days on Castaway Key, because the first day we knew we were coming back. The second day we had already been there. So we'd done we'd parasailed the first day, and the second day we just hung out at the beach, or we just, whatever, rented bikes. So again, it's just like at Walt Disney World, right? When you have the luxury of time, you can relax and actually be on vacation. It wasn't so intense. And like you said, going to each restaurant in the rotational dining 2 times plus is way better than going 1 time. You get to have more time with a wait staff. I don't know if you have the same, because I haven't done it with Disney Cruise Line, but I don't know if you have the same wait staff. I guess you could request it.
For
Did you have
sure.
that?
Yeah, I think we did have the same wait staff, but I think that Disney arranged that for us. But I think the other plus is too, you can do the specialty dining a couple times if
Right.
you'd like. It gives you more opportunities to see the shows. It gives you more opportunities to see any special activities that are going on. There's usually like a special activity that goes on your last night, and this way you get 2 chances to do it. So I think, like you, I think one of the biggest bonuses of that is it gives you just a double opportunity to do a lot of things, and it does remove some of that stress. It definitely does. It's different than a 7-night cruise, because the 7-night cruise, you're going to have different things each day,
Mhm.
right? But this sort of gives you an opportunity to experience a lot of those things twice. And since you know, and I know, there's no way you're going to do it all on a cruise, this gives you more of a chance to do that.
And plus, what I would do too, real quick, because I mean, Michelle's kind of, debating whether to do this. What I would do is maybe decide, say, I don't know what the shows are on these 3 and 4 night cruises, but say like Believe is showing obviously on both cruises, which it probably is on the Wish, say on the 3 and 4 nights. I would pick one of those out and go to the show, one of the 2 cruises. And the other night, I would make it where I stroll on deck and watch the sunset. You know what I'm saying? And like, because most of the ship is in the show or at dinner. And that ship, like during the show and dinner time, if you go up to the top deck, it's abandoned. Nobody's up there because everybody's either in the show or dinner. Grab a drink, walk with your significant other, just walk in by yourself and watch the sunset from up on deck 10, deck 11, find your spot on your veranda, whatever it is. I mean, I've done that a few times where I've just skipped the show and just taken it, just let nature, just watch the ocean, watch the sunset. And you know what? Sometimes that's even better than the show. The shows are amazing, but I've never regretted doing that. I haven't done it a lot, but when I've done it, I've loved it. And that gives you a chance to do things like that because you've already seen the show. So
It does. Yeah.
All right, let's see. We have a question here about Eric. He's over on Twitch. Eric Matterhorn says, with a great Matterhorn icon here, with park hopping at all hours, can annual passes book Genie Plus for all parks first thing in the morning, even though they have to make reservations still? So how's that working out? Because I never use Genie Plus. Do you?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I use it often. And yes, as long as you have, so when you buy Genie Plus now, you have the option of buying it for just one park or buying it for multiple parks, or you could buy 2 individual park Genie Plus. I know, right? Sometimes that's actually, if you're only going to be visiting 2 parks, sometimes purchasing it for 2 individual parks could be less than purchasing it for the multi-park. So as long as you do that, then you will be able to go ahead and make Genie Plus arrangements, and they take into consideration park hopping. So.
All right. We have a question over on Instagram from Emily V says, and it says, hey, Mike and Pam, best cruise for a first-time cruiser, 4-nighter? I would say yes. That's a good introductory cruise. I still think a 3-night cruise is too short. I would do the 4. I think a 3-night cruise, here's where I think because everybody's like, why is there a 3-night cruise then? Here's where I think the 3-night cruise, it works. I think it's for an experienced cruiser that's fiending to get on a ship, but they only have a weekend. Like,
Mhm.
you just like, God, I just missed that ship. And I know I can only go over the weekend. Like I just have a holiday weekend or something where it works out that the schedules all align and it's fine. Like I'm going to be at Walt Disney World for like 2 or 3 days and I'm just going to squeeze in a little cruise. Like I know it's going to be quick, but I've sailed a few times and I just want to get into, get into a couple shows, dining, sit on a veranda and go to Castaway Key. I'm cool with it. I've sailed it. I just need 3 nights. It's cool. But for a first timer, I do a 4 night to the Bahamas, get a good taste of it, get a sea day. Cause I'm telling you, the sea days are until you do it, you don't understand it. But sea days are my favorite, even over Castaway Key. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I love the sea days too, and I think some of that has to do with a Palo brunch.
Oh, yes, like 98%, but go ahead.
Plus, it just seems like a really relaxing day. You don't have to get up and go somewhere unless you want to, right? And if you're going to go somewhere, where you're going to go is maybe out on the pool deck or to do activities that they're going to be offering or whatnot. So, yeah, I absolutely enjoy a sea day. But I also agree with you, Mike. There are absolutely times where I'm like, okay, we really can't take a whole week, to go do a cruise, but we have these 3 nights that are going to work for us. So we're going to jump on the ship and go. And we know exactly what we're getting into. We don't have the steeper learning curve of having to learn the ship or having to figure out what we want to do. We already know what we want to do. Yes, we want to spend every evening in Palo or
Yep.
something, but
I think it is really for the veteran cruiser, the 3 nighter.
it
It's
is.
like
It
just a
is.
little hit of Disney Cruise Line in my life right now.
It is for sure. And I think for those who are worried about cruising, I think a 4 night is a good taster cruise for them. I will say, my husband was actually really reluctant before we went on our first cruise way back when. He was like, there's not going to be enough for me to do. I'm going to get bored. Da, 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 da. And then we got on the ship and he was like, oh, yeah. So what's so funny is I think so many people feel like a Walt Disney World vacation sort of lets you disconnect, or a Disneyland vacation lets you disconnect. A cruise lets you disconnect in a way that's not possible on other vacations, and just by virtue of being a cruise. So I think that's one of the things that most people find that they love the most about a cruise. And then when you do a 4 night, you're going to get a good taste of that.
I miss cruising with Steve Forrester. Nothing better. All right. Cheshire Disney Danny over on Instagram says, hey, Mike and Pam, Disneyland question. We'll be at the Halloween races. We have 6 days. One is an Oogie Boogie Day. I just like saying that. That's
Oogie
great.
boogie.
I love, you got to have context here. And one is the Expo Day. What is your opinion? Is it worth buying tickets for those days? So should they buy, I guess, theme park tickets to Disneyland and DCA on the days of the Oogie Boogie Dash, Oogie Boogie Party? Oogie Boogie Dash. We're going to go with Dash. Oogie Boogie Oogie Boogie Party Day and the Expo Day. So yes, I would definitely buy tickets to the Expo Day. That does not take that long. I mean, because the Expo is right there.
I was going to say 5 day is probably good.
Yeah,
So buy 5.
Yeah, I'd buy 5 because that's the most like you can get.
Yeah. And I would do like the Oogie Boogie Day. I probably wouldn't go in because it's going to be a later night for you and whatnot. And you'll probably be able to start getting it. I forget what time they let people in with Oogie Boogie tickets into the park, but I want to say it was in the late afternoon. So you'll be able to go into the late afternoon there. I would go. I would enjoy my resort that day during the day, get some relaxing in, and then head to the park that evening. And that would be my schedule.
Oogie Boogie. How many times am I going to say Oogie Boogie in the show?
Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie. That's nice. All right, Andrew's got a question. I like this question because this is a challenge for us because it's been a minute for us, but here we go. What would you say are the major bullet points for stroller etiquette for transportation and in the parks?
So it is a good question because, first of all, I will say I try very hard to show grace in this space.
I try, and by showing grace, I try not to laugh because I wasn't there and I'm not anymore. So I find it hilarious.
I know. And I will say too, as young parents, I remember being there with Hannah. We had a stroller that actually the concierge had given us, we were staying club level, and they had given us a stroller to use. And it was unfamiliar. It wasn't our typical stroller. And we were going to get on one of the boats. And dang, if I knew how to fold
Oh,
that stroller.
it should be
Oh,
it should really be a game show. Like for
right?
real, like tick, 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 tick. And you're cranking that thing down, like, oh my god, I think I have the clock here. Hang on. You know,
People in the boat or the whatever are looking at you.
like here you are, Dad, trying to. Here comes
Ugh,
the boat. Here comes the boat. Here comes the boat.
nightmare.
Crank, crank.
Nightmare. Nightmare.
Oh, you don't get on this bus.
I know. It's that, and two, people are always like, I can't stand when a stroller ran into, and I get it, like, not great, but in a big crowd, it is not easy to stop on a dime all the time. It just isn't. And even though you're looking ahead, when the person in front of you stops or whatnot, I just try to show a lot of grace there because it's unfamiliar. Everyone, especially littles, have a hard time sometimes with the amount of everything that's going on around them. So I will say bullet points for the stroller etiquette is don't be like me, learn how to fold your stroller, right? Because there are certain transportation options that you're going to have to do that with, and that will be the bus and the boats, there at Walt Disney World. So know that. I would say try to be mindful of how much space you're taking up and how much momentum you have behind the stroller, right?
Mhm.
I always try to apply the rules of skiing. When I learned to ski, they were like, if you are above the hill and coming down behind someone, it's up to you to navigate around.
I mean, that's like a international skiing rule, right? When you're the uphill
Yes.
skier, that you have the right of way, right? Is that but
No,
you
you
have the
have
responsibility, right? Because you
to avoid
yeah,
slower
that's
skiers or
what I
people
meant.
who are stopped or anyone, whoever might be in front of you for whatever reason. You don't get to ask the person, like, why are you on the ground? Like, it is your responsibility to navigate around, right? If they're slower than you don't get to run them over, like all of those things. So I think maybe try to apply those kind of things. And I will say too, I think a stroller, I will say the thing I miss the most about the stroller is it is a great receptacle
I
for
knew you were gonna say yeah,
packages, drinks, all the
the first
other.
time your kid starts like, you make your kid walk, like, and you don't take the stroller, you're like, "What am I gonna do with all this stuff?"
Right?
Like, you're like, "Man, that thing had that I put 10 pounds of stuff on that stroller." I remember first trip, I was like,
Where's my drink holder, shopping
"Right,
bag holder on wheels that I used to
exactly."
have?
Like, I felt like a homeless person, like, just pushing that I'm like, I had a cart. It was crazy.
I know. I know. What are your big bullet points for
I mean,
stroller etiquette?
I think it's common sense, right? And you just said it, like, it's grace, right? People don't, even if like at home, when you're at the shopping mall, do people go to shopping malls anymore? Again, this is old. But I mean, when Mallory was young, we used to always go to the shopping mall, but the shopping mall wasn't as densely populated as the Magic Kingdom after the fireworks, right? I mean, I wasn't, I prided myself on being a pretty good stroller driver back in the day, but I didn't have the level of intensity at the Mills Mall in Hazelwood, Missouri, as I did on Main Street, USA
Mhm.
at 10:15 after Wishes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that was like driving the Indy 500 compared to like back road Missouri Bottoms Road here in St. Louis. It was no comparison. It was wild. And so did I clip a few heels? Yes. Did I mean to? No, because half the time Mallory was kicking because she was mad because she was strapped in and it was 10 o'clock at night. She should have been in bed. We're probably giving her sugar all day. I'm fighting with her. She's kicking and screaming. And I'm like, stop, and I'm not trying to yell at her. She's yelling at me. And the last thing I'm worried about is like, where I'm driving, I probably hit some grandma's heel. I'm not trying to hit grandma's heel. I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to get out of the Magic Kingdom, people, just like you. And did I clip your heel? Yeah, I probably did. I didn't mean to. I'm a novice. I don't have a license in this. So again, it's grace. But when you are getting on transportation, I think the whole thing is preparedness, right? It is, first of all, get all your junk out of the stroller because that's the whole thing. Like, because I think like people panic. What I've always seen is like, if you don't like like all of a sudden you see people like waiting there and their kids are in the stroller, right? And you're waiting in the Pop Century corral, like bus corral, right? And here comes the Pop Century bus pulled in. Well, the kid's still in the stroller, and the bus is pulling in, you're going to make that bus. And that's like when the parent starts getting the kid out of the stroller. That's not the time. Like, because what happens at that point, you've already lost the battle because the kid's going to fight all of a sudden and the stroller's loaded down with everything. So now what happens is the dad or mom gets in the panic mode. They start trying to fold that sucker up, but all the popcorn bucket's still in there and it's full of popcorn. They got sodas in there. They forgot what was in the basket in the bottom. Soda spills, popcorn everywhere. Kid cries because their stuff's everywhere. And it's just a wreck. Like, it's all preparedness. Like, you have a plan, get it done before that bus even gets on the Pop Century property. Fold that sucker up. Just be ready. Be like Boy Scout or with Scouts, be prepared. Be ready.
That's it too. And for the security checkpoint too, that's a great point too. Like, be ready with your stroller when you go up there. Now, we know there is a separate line for strollers, but even in that, please be ready. I will say, I would love be prepared for the security checkpoint notice to go out to everybody. Like Mike and I have the same personality in this space. You roll up and these people act like this is news to them.
How do you not know? I mean, okay, if I again, grace, I do give grace because
I do too.
I've been through that security thing 100,000 times, right?
Yeah.
And so, I know, I hold my battery, I hold my iPhone, if I have an umbrella,
water,
my eyeglasses case, because it's pretty dense, like it's thick because I'm blind and I have big glasses. So those things will every once in a while set off the thing. So I hold them up above my head or have they told me out front, so those things are out of my bag. Ready. Like, I am ready. Like
me too.
One thing I can do is I can follow directions. I was a teacher. I can follow directions, but it's not hard. Like, these people, most of them probably flew in an airplane. Like, you went through TSA. This is not even that hard. Like, dude, it's really at Walt Disney World at this point. It's like going a single file line. Don't stop. That's all you got to do. I
know it's true.
Anyway.
It is true. It is. I like when the security guy is trying to tell me which of the things set off the alarm. And I don't ever say this, but I want to say, dude, this is the third park I've been in today. And this is the first time that whatever's in my bag set off whatever alarm you're getting there. So
it does crack me up because I'm like, why today? Why now? Like,
why now?
Dude, it's the same thing. I know.
Day 4. I've had the same stuff in my bag every day.
She was like, turn it up on me today just to mess with me. Like, what's going on here? All right,
we've all been there. Grace, but you have to laugh too.
Yeah, no, for real, dude. I think they just screw with us sometimes just because they're bored. I told them because I would do that. Like, if I was working there, I'd probably do it too. All right, Sarah says, hey, BOGP crew, any guesses on when Disney will drop the remaining 24 discounts of full year 2025 resort reservations for Walt Disney World? Again, we never know for discounts if and when they could come out. They could come out at any time. They could never come out. It's all based on how Disney is seeing.
And there is one out now until December 21st.
Yes.
The Disney Visa cardholder free dining is actually out through most of December, which is a rarity. We rarely see anything. It's for arrivals most nights, July 1st through the 31st. And there is still some availability in those July dates. So check those out. September 1st through the 7th, which is a very short window in September. And then December 9th through 21st. Those are available for 2024 this year, which is awesome. And I will say too, this was the good discount that we were going to see for those travel dates. And I think it is very telling that there's not much available the rest of September and also October. That typically means that they are already seeing higher occupancy during that time. Don't get panicked if you have a trip planned then. You're not going to see higher crowds. It just is a time when you see most of the resorts are busy. They have some conventions that come during that time and whatnot. So all things to keep in mind. So whether we'll see other discounts for 2024 is really anyone's guess. And 2025, we just don't have the full calendar availability there. I don't know what the reason was for holding that back. We got it earlier than we've ever seen it before.
Way early this year.
Way early. So I don't know if those will come out in traditional time that we usually see those, sort of in the summer. I don't know if there's something being changed that will impact that point forward. It's always something to think about. So all those things. Sorry, all that to say, we don't know.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. That's why we're here 3 times a week.
Tuned.
All right, Sandy's got a question. Any recommendations for a hotel near Fort Lauderdale cruise port? Since now that's Disney Cruise Line's second port, Fort Lauderdale.
I know. There's a lot of hotels in the area. I believe that Disney is recommending, like if you do a pre-cruise stay through Disney, they're saying there's a Hilton there. What I would be looking for in a hotel in that space is, first of all, you probably aren't going to find things that have free shuttle from the airport and free shuttle to the cruise. That probably is not going to happen for you. I know that a lot of people look for those things. It's just sort of a rare bird in this space.
What about free breakfast? Who cares?
I know that people.
There's my shuttle. When you said free, I'm like, breakfast? Yes.
I know that other people are looking for that. The other thing I would want to be looking for is something that had restaurants near or in it that I could go to that night, especially if you're in an area that you're unfamiliar with. I think it's always good to have something kind of close that you can walk to in the evening. And I totally applaud. You know how much I like, Sandy, that you're flying in before your cruise, because we have seen probably in the last couple years more cruises impacted by airline issues, by weather, by all those things. And by arriving at least a day early for your cruise, you will eliminate that being a possibility. I will share too that we even had a guest that was arriving a full day, if not 2 days early, and still, because of their airline, missed their cruise. So it is a challenge. It's not exclusive to any one airline. Many airlines experience it. So the one thing I will say is look at when booking your air for a cruise. If you're looking at a one that is not one of the legacy airlines, see how often they fly to the destination that you're going to. Some of the airlines only fly, let's say, I know that there's a airport near us in Latrobe that I believe Spirit flies from, but they only fly to those destinations
once a week.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll get you there next Tuesday. Like,
Right.
That won't work. My cruise will be back.
Exactly. So it's just something to consider in that space.
Oh my God, I was joking. But I know some airlines do that. I'd be like, I'm out on that airline. I'm sorry.
Right.
No. Because that's why I fly Southwest out of St. Louis. They fly to Orlando 8 or 9 times a day. So
Right.
if I miss a flight, I mean,
exactly.
And Pam's like, why are we flying at 5:30 in the morning? I'm like, it was super cheap. Like, it was the absolute cheapest flight. That's 80% of the battle. But B, there's 7 other opportunities to get down there on that Friday, because we cruise Saturday, right?
Right.
I mean, there's like other. So I told her, cheapest flight. That's 80%. Like, because the other flights were not a lot more expensive. But when you're buying, 3 or 4 flights, it adds up. But also, we landed at like 8:15 in the morning, and we're staying in Old Key West. So, dude, all pool day, all day long. So I want to get my money's worth if I'm staying in Old Key West. So that's a big part of it. But I mean, it's also that the peace in my mind that if for some reason, and plus the first flight of the day, the plane's usually there, right? That's the least opportunity to probably be delayed. We're probably going to get out at 5:30 in the morning, because in the Midwest, you can get thunderstorms in the afternoon, all kinds of stuff. And stuff backs up, right? If you have a like in July, all bets are off with weather. I mean, your plane could be coming from Chicago. Chicago could have a thunderstorm, and it could be coming from Pittsburgh or Detroit or where have you. Probably we're going to get there on time with a 5:30 a.m. flight. But if it doesn't, we have ample opportunity to get down that day by night. So do that, people that are going on cruises. Don't give me a heart attack, please.
Exactly.
You didn't even hear about Dennis, one of my good buddy who took a med cruise. He's on his med cruise right now from the Dream. He got in the wrong taxi, got detained by the police for 40 minutes in Spain before going to the port. You can go to the Discord to read the whole story.
Oh my goodness.
He did post on the Discord a picture of him and his wife having his sail away drinks on top of the
dang.
So it's all good. But I can't wait to hear the story when he gets back. So yes, cruising has its adventures sometimes. And
for sure.
The funny thing is Paige has taken her basketball team to Barcelona right after for an exhibition tour, right after we get back from our cruise. And I'm going to tell her, don't get into any taxis. The police apparently don't speak English, and neither do you. I'll take a taxi. I don't know what you do, but just be careful. Okay, last question of the day. Let's get to it here from the inbox. It is from Kate. She is from Warren High School, apparently, and this is school in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So hopefully she's out of school and enjoying her summer already. Hey, Mike and BOGP crew. My husband, 2 daughters who are 8 and 5, and I'll be embarking on the fantasy in mid-June. Keep it nice for me. That's like 2 cruises in front of mine. And we'll be staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge for 2 nights before our cruise. We snagged a bucket list Savannah View room in Kidani Village as a surprise for my family. My husband is not a Disney guy, but has often mentioned how cool it'd be to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, specifically in a Savannah View room. I'm just here making dreams come true all over the place. Go me, she says. That's what teachers do, right? Your daughter's a teacher. They make dreams come true all over the place.
Yes.
That's what they do. That's
awesome. Sprinkle.
That's so funny. I love Kate. That's awesome. We plan just to enjoy the resort and don't have any park days planned. I booked ADRs for Sanaa and one dinner at Boma for both breakfast and the other for dinner because I keep hearing amazing reviews of both meals and we can't choose. So why not live very, very large? As much as I love Jico, the beauty of the atmosphere and the excellence of the food will be lost on my little girls. So we'll save that for another time. My question is, the resort has so much to offer. What recommendations do you have for maximizing our time while also relaxing and taking it all in? As a bonus question, I would be up for hearing what you all love to do on DCL. This will be my 3rd Disney cruise, but there's always something new to learn. Thanks for your amazing podcast, Kate in Bowling Green, Kentucky. First of all, you are doing it, in my opinion, absolutely right. We're doing the exact same thing, sailing the Fantasy July 6th. We're going down the day before, no parks, pool day, Old Key West, which I think is very comparable to, it's a place where it's just a resort, right? Pool day, gurgling suitcase. We'll probably maybe if the boats are running to Disney Springs. If not, we'll just catch a bus to Disney Springs for a little bit. Just having fun for one day, then going over to the cruise. I'm surprised the girls with a big limo. We got an SUV limo picking us up. They think it's the bus. They're kind of, Mallory's kind of spoiled. She's gonna, she's always taking a limo like bus thing over because of you guys, right? Because you always go with you guys, but she won't be surprised, but her cousin will be. Anyway, what she'll be shocked is we're just taking the motor coach back to the airport after the cruise. She'll be like, "Where's the limo for that?" I'm like, "Cruise is over. Get on the bus." But here, so I like this Sanaa and Boma, good meals. Just. As far as Animal Kingdom Lodge, the pools, seeing the animals, Pam, just take it all in. Chill out.
You'll want to get one of the activities guides so you can see all of the activities that are happening. Dang, won't you be happy when those activities guides somehow make it to the app? Is this
not there.
Crazy talk?
I don't understand how
do this. Take a picture and then upload it to the app so you can click on it and expand it.
Not 2024. Come on.
I know. But anyway, stop by the front desk or the concierge and they'll be able to give you a listing of those activities. There's so many great things to do. Make sure you possibly look at the evening activities too. You're going to want to hit the movies under the stars if they're there. And of course, some s'mores and campfire stuff. That's always a really cool thing. And at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, sometimes they have night vision goggles out there to look at. They actually even have some tours of Animal Kingdom Lodge. So look at those too. There's so many good things about the Animal Kingdom Lodge, I think, that are good. It's just one of the best resorts to just
It is.
enjoy the resort.
They picked a great resort just to hang out for a couple days. I mean, that's probably the best one. Moving on to the stars gets you ready for funnel vision. So you're like pre-gaming the cruise right there. You're preparing yourself. That's, no sea air, but there you go. But a couple things to do on the ship that maybe you haven't thought of. One of the things I've never done is the ship tour. And I'm platinum. I've done a bunch of cruises. I've been on all the ships. I've never done one of the ship tours. I'm doing that this time. So,
yeah, that's a fun one. I agree. They tell you little secrets about the ship. They sometimes talk about some of the artwork. Maybe they'll even show you, where the ship was welded together, that kind of thing. But yeah, and those cast members are super knowledgeable. So make sure if you have questions, you ask them as well. So many good things to do on the ship.
yeah, and I would just, with your family, I mean, you got 2 daughters that are 8 and 5. I mean, I'm sure this is your 3rd cruise. You've probably already taken the opportunity to sign up for the Princess Meet and Greet, which happens because it looks like you're gonna be on the Fantasies. That's probably a 7-night Caribbean cruise. I think it happens twice during your sailing, where the mornings they'll be down in the atrium, and you have that kind of opportunity to go right down the line and meet like Tiana and Cinderella and probably they vary, like Belle, Snow White, and you get them kind of all just knocked out in a row. Of course, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique experience is on the Fantasy. There's a lot of opportunity. I mean, the thing is, if your girls are into character meet and greets, that's the thing about the cruise line. You can meet 50 characters in a week easily with no work. I mean, the characters are everywhere in the ship, so that's an opportunity to do that. So bring something to autograph, if they want to pick those up. Anyway, and happy end of your school year. It's got to be.
Yes.
I miss that. I do miss that. I miss the last day of school. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here, but we're going to be back on Friday, and we're taking a suggestion actually from Cindy Lou 75 over in the BOGP Clubhouse, our Discord channel. And we're going to talk quick service dining suggestions. So come hungry, come with ready to notepad and paper. Actually, nobody does that anymore. But your notes app on your mobile device, and we'll get you ready to have some good meals, not table service meals, counter service meals down at Walt Disney World on Friday. So until then, we want to catch you over in the Clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. It's great conversation, an awesome community of all of our listeners. And we just talk Disney all the time, 24/7. We talk about life over there too, sports and where we're all from and everything that's happening. So come on over and join us over there as well. Don't forget, our shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. Whether you're headed out to the West Coast, Disneyland is awesome. You need to get out there and check out everything going out there. Pixar Fest. You got the new Pixar Place Hotel. That is amazing. You got the guy from Soul with Joe Gardner tickling the ivories down there in the lobby. You could have that in your own. Come back to that after the parks. How cool would that be? The Disneyland Hotel. You cannot. I mean, I'm biased. Can't beat the Disneyland Hotel. It's amazing.
You are biased.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. And it's just how it's going to be. I love the Disneyland Hotel, man. It is Frontier Tower, baby. A Fantasyland Tower is not bad either, but I like the Frontier Tower. It's where the workout room is. This is me. My brain is warped, but and then Scotty G's always Grand Californian, baby. So whatever, pick your poison. You can't go wrong. So we'll get you out to Disneyland. Do I like the Disney Cruise Line? It's all I'm obsessed with right now. Fantasy, baby, July 6th. I'm ready. Let's go. And of course, Adventures by Disney. You can see the world and have access that nobody else gets. So it's coming over to the website. All the details are there. No cost to use our services. We'll take care of you from that point on. So coming over, themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. One extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to our patrons. You guys make all this possible. The hosting with the videos, the audio hosting, the bandwidth. It takes a lot, but you guys make it possible. So thank you for that. You can support us just $5 a month. And as a thank you, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. This week we talked about, and the shows are always a little bit crazy, we talked about breakfast memories from my childhood, and we talked about favorite breakfast cereals, the crazy stuff my grandma used to make. It was called chipped beef on toast. I don't know if you guys had that where you grew up. My grandpa called it something inappropriate. We talk about that on the show. We served during the Great Depression. I learned. I read it on a website over the week, like an Apple News last week, and that's what brought up the show idea. So come on over, get the show. $5 a month supports us. Everybody wins. Sometimes you lose if you listen to the show, but it's all in fun. So come on over. It's patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Pam a follow on social media at TMFLT Pam. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Of course, you got Scott at Ep Scott. You got Ricky at Ricky Nibs. And we'll be back again on Friday. We'll have the live call-in show, of course, Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, in all the places. All right, we'll see you again on Friday. So for Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Yeah, do you know what chip beef on toast is?
Yeah.
Okay, see, okay, because there was an article about it. Apparently, Golden Corral, SOS. That's right, it is SOS. Golden Corral serves it. Yeah, my grandpa back. Oh God, we're having SOS again.
I cannot say it was something I ever enjoyed.
Oh my God, I love it. My grandma would make it all the time, and I destroyed it. Oh, I loved it.
I don't know what like the sauce is. Like
it was like gravy. It was like biscuit gravy. Is what my grandma made.
I'm not a gravy person. Like not with that.
Oh, I loved it. My grandma made it good. My grandpa would be like, "Oh God, we're having SOS again." He'd be like, he'd be like, "Oh God, let me see if I can do this." He'd be like, "It's on a shingle."
Yes. That's exactly what it was.
All right. Give me the first restaurant we're going to talk about at a resort so I can at least have one of them pulled up. You can use the mouse for less, or we can use.
Let's do Landscape of Flavor.
That'll work.
Because.
Actually, I'm going to pull it up on this monitor. Walt Disney World. Dining menus. Oh, mouse for less looks different. Looks cleaner. The font is different or something. I like it. Wait, nope. Art of Animation. I blasted right past it. Landscape of Flavors Food Court. Oh man, I'm kind of hungry again. It's not good. I already had my afternoon pudding. Sugar-free pudding. Oh my God, Stouffer's makes it. I didn't know that. Oh God.
I'm not convinced on this, I'm gonna say.
My grandma got it like she got the corned beef or whatever, like in a glass case. It was like in a glass jar. It was like it came in the stuff that like it was similar to what
like chip beef, yes.
Chip beef. It was like in like a thing, like a glass thing like we get pimento cheese in.
Yes.
And she stirred around like in some kind of gravy, and we just put on toast. Oh my God, I would just tear that up like a junior high. I mean, we didn't have, we didn't have a lot of money, so it was cheap, and man, we destroy that stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, pudding. That's right, pudding. That's my afternoon snack. All
right. I got it pulled up too. Looking at
the Whoopie Monster April and Caramel Whoopie Pie with marshmallow buttercream, $5.79.
I pulled up on the Disney site too.
Waffle Bounty Platter. Mom. Okay. Okay, we gotta do this. I'm getting hungry. Mike say it. Ever get Stouffer's turkey in a bag with gravy? Boil it and pour it over. No. Now we're talking, people. Now we're getting down to the brass tacks, as they say. Giving him a bell for that. Mike Leone.
The bell has many uses.
Yes, it does. And whenever I hear something I like, you get a bell. I'm going to Deerberg's after this. I'm like, where's the Stouffer section? Because apparently Stouffer's has everything similar to SOS. Like, sir, what is SOS? Is on a shingle. I just like saying on a shingle. Because I like using my record scratch when I say on a shingle.
We need like a Some shows have like a background sound.
Yeah. I have a sensor drop. Where's that? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so like when you say shingle, you could just thing like that too. See, I paid all that extra money for this board a couple of years ago, and I haven't really got a chance to use it. So when I say shingle, I can just say that. Yes,
it's a little thing.
It's Stouffer's on a shingle. Exactly. I wouldn't have to even use it.
Oh, die.
Missing out. Yeah, tonight, what am I going to have for dinner? Shingle. Anyway, all right, let's. People, you need to be a patron. That's what you get. Okay, here we go. 2501, the most anticlimactic 2,500 episodes. We have the most Disney podcast episodes, and we don't even care. There we go. Well, how do you say passion fruit tres leches? Is that how you say that one? I don't even know. It's on here. Who cares? I'm not going to talk about it. It's a
right.
thing. Okay, here we go.
Leches, yes.
Tres leches. Have I ever pronounced anything correctly? No. Why change after 2,500 shows?
I know you might want to look at the Disney site too, because it has more stuff, different
I'll use
stuff.
that. Okay, so what site?
Go to DisneyWorld.com and then go to All Dining.
Disney World.
And then you can sort by quick service and then do additional filters and do resort.
All Dining. Quick service. Oh, these pictures. Oh, the ABC commissary. Show me my buffalo chicken sandwich first thing. Dude, you know me so well.
How are you going to make it without a Walt Disney World trip that includes the buffalo chicken sandwich?
No, dude, I might have to break in. I might have to renew my annual pass just to go get that. So I'm looking for. So how did you search art of it? So you went to landscape.
I went to All Dining, and then I did quick service dining, and then I did at the resorts.
Quick service. So I'm on quick service, and now
you have to go. So it's not intuitive. Isn't that funny? A Disney site that's not intuitive.
Search by location.
Yes, and I did resorts. But you can just search up in the search box too.
Art of animation. Landscape flavors. Got it. Hello. There's our all-star from the Clubhouse Mohawk in Scotland. Ooh, that's a good looking burger. What's that? Dang. What is that?
The one that comes up on the page.
Holy smokes. What is that? Yeah. Dude, is that an onion ring or something on that with like cheese on top? Holy cow. Oh my God, I need that. Whatever it is, it works.
Maybe it's the land and sea burger. The burger topped with a shrimp cake, arugula, tomato, dill pickle, and a remoulade.
Dude, sauce. I need that thing. Holy smokes.
Right?
Okay. All right. Forget breakfast. I'm going to let you dinner. Okay, let's do the show. Yeah. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 2501 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rahman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. We are going to have some fun today. It's going to be an educational show, but of course, we're just going to have a good time talking Disney and talking dining, specifically quick service dining around the Walt Disney World resorts today, because Cindy Lou 75 over in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse which you can find right now, right this instant at beourguestpodcast.com/discord. We're having a conversation over there, and she wanted to know some quick service dining recommendations. So that's what we're doing today. You ask, we deliver. And my friend joining us today, she's the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. We have shared many a quick service dining meal at Walt Disney World. So that's what we're talking today. Pam Forrester joining me here to kick off the next 2,500 Be Our Guest podcast episodes. Pam Forrester, happy 2,501. What's up?
It's crazy. And I love, first of all, that you put an educational show. Like maybe the podcast places, for lack of a better word, will start dual categorizing our show, right? It's not just travel, it's also education.
Well, I mean,
travel, education.
Both of us have education degrees. And
True.
So rather than let that sucker get any more dust on it on the shelf, we could at least throw it in there every now and then.
Right? I know we need to look for some teacher resources. Maybe.
Oh my gosh. As the school year gets longer, my wife is willing to pay more and more.
100%.
It's so funny, like in September, makes her own stuff. And like come April, dude, she's like, I'll pay $50.
$50 sounds fair. Sounds fair. No, that's the beauty of the Disney community, though. There are so many people who are knowledgeable and who are willing to educate others on this. So it's a good thing. There's too many things to know about all of the Disney destinations. You can't put it all on your brain.
And it's always changing, which is great. I mean, that's it's the old adage that as Disney fans, everybody gets asked by our friends who are not Disney fans, why do you always go back? How can you go back to Walt Disney World? You've been there before. Well, I mean, so it's always evolving. And one time you might stay at Art of Animation, next time you might stay at Wilderness Lodge. And I mean, that's night and day different experience. Go over to French Quarter the next time, and you have beignets in the morning instead of the old skillet. I mean,
yes, it's like Pocahontas says, you can't step in the same river twice, right? It's always changing, always flowing. And my landscaping people must know I'm podcasting because they're cutting my lawn now.
Well, that was like last week. I mean,
I know. It's like, and we're all over the place in times. It's like they just.
Is that my neighbor Brad? Because he is usually cutting right when I'm podcasting, but he's going to be upset because we beat him because we're recording early.
I know.
He'll be disappointed that we're done with the show when he starts cutting the grass today, because he's always trying to be in on the show by getting on his orange riding lawnmower right outside my window. So. We beat you, Brad, but see, we got your guy again,
right?
We can't win. We just can't win.
The landscaping gods are not on our side.
No, I mean, you got to battle the elements and the tall grass, and of course around here the cicada, which are everywhere.
That's crazy.
My wife came screaming in last night with Riley. I mean, screaming like, "That's it, I'm not walking her." I'm like, "What?" Those cicadas there was one in my hair. There was one in my ear. There was one on going up my shirt. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's so bad on the news. They showed a lady that was walking her dog in a beekeeper suit. I mean, that's extreme. Like, come on, get over it, dude, to their butts. Anyway, let's get to today's topic again. Brought by Cindy Lou 75. Everybody was having a discussion over there, like. They're on the Disney dining plan. They're going down, looking for good use of quick service dining credits. And today we thought, because I mean, there's so many places to use your credits, but we're going to talk about the resorts today. We're going to kind of narrow it down. And let's start off. You want to start off over at Landscape of Flavors, over at Art of Animation. So what are some of the things you like to get? We're kind of starting with this menu over at Landscape of Flavors.
Yeah, I picked this one because I really feel like it has definitely a wide range of options. At most of the quick service locations at the resorts, they're always going to have a burger. They're going to have pizza. They're going to have chicken fingers. They're going to have some vegetarian options. But this had some really unique things and has always, in my opinion, been one of the better quick service locations at the resorts, just because of the breadth of options that it had for you. Considering they have actual entrees at night, in the evening for dinner. And it makes it not only a great use of your quick service dining credit, but it makes it a great value too, because the entrees itself are, around $15, which is, I think, a great use of your snack credit. They have right now, as we're recording, a couple of their entree options are Mongolian beef, which, I mean, that's not your run-of-the-mill quick service option by any means. And they also have a mojo roasted chicken that's served with a choice of 2 sides. They also have an Italian sausage mixed grill, which kind of seems like it might be something you like, Mike, because tandoori roasted red pepper or red potatoes, peppers, onions, garlic, green beans, buttery naan bread, some Italian sausage. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good option to me.
I would totally go for that. 100%. I totally. And and the thing is, again, Art of Animation, Value Resort, Food Court. I mean, that's what you think of when you think of, Pop Century, All Stars, Art of Animation. But this is a step up. You're going to get something that's got a little bit of kick to it. Some kind of a flavor, and not just like, I'm thinking of basic food. This is a little bit of a step up from basic food. Landscape Flavors got it going on.
Yeah, it does. And they still do have the pizza and the burgers. In the pizza, though, something to think about is they usually have pasta options there. So they have a few here. But Mike, I think you're looking at the burgers, and tell them about the burgers that are available, particularly that first burger.
Well, so yeah, when you go to disneyworld.com, which we're looking at this menu here, and the landing page, when you type in landscape of flavors to go to the menu, I was like, whoa, what is that? Because like it's like half your page if you're on a desktop computer. I don't know how it pops up on a mobile, but here in the studio, it was huge. And I mean, we're recording this thing at like 3:00 in the afternoon, so I got the munchies. I'm starving. And I was like, I need that thing in my life and in my mouth right now. And I think it's the Land and Sea Burger, as far as I can tell.
That's what it looks like.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So it says it's a beef burger topped with zesty shrimp cake, arugula. I can't say that right. Tomato dill pickle, and how do you even say that?
A remoulade sauce.
Whatever. It looks amazing.
It does.
You need this. I mean, it looks great. But I mean, they have a Southwest style turkey burger, grilled chicken sandwich, bacon cheddar burger, cheeseburger, the cheddar cheeseburger, and of course, God bless them, for my daughters, they have chicken. They have chicken strips for all the kids everywhere, both 3 years old and 27.
That's right.
Served with good old French fries.
They know their audience.
They do. I mean, God bless them for that, because it's a safe place. I know. Sandwiches: ham and cheese sandwich, honey barbecue pork sandwich, Italian sub, meatball sub, soups. I mean,
I know the soups, and the soups are usually available. You can usually get them with a snack credit, which I think is a great option. And they even have salads available. Of course, they have just like a Caesar salad, but they also have a Greek salad with chicken. They have a Greek salad with roasted red pepper hummus, which would be great. And a Mediterranean curry chickpea salad. And finally, also in the plant-based area, they have a Korean style Impossible Burger.
I think your landscaper's trimming your
right outside my
in the office. Watch your toes. I will say, it's Landscape of Flavors. I don't know if this is still the case because I haven't been there in the last year, but on a past trip, the mac and cheese that they had at Landscape of Flavors, and I can't promise this is still the case, but it was the best mac and cheese because it was just like my grandma used to make.
I mean, really?
It was like, it wasn't like Kraft mac and cheese. It tasted, because it had, my grandma, when she used to make her mac and cheese, it had almost this top of it that was almost like a little bit burnt.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, but she would make with the bigger noodles and the creamy kind of cheese, but at the top it'd be almost burnt. So you'd have this topping that was almost burnt. That's how they served it over at Landscape of Flavors. I remember one trip I had it 3 different times. Probably a bajillion calories, but I did not care because it came in a little Chinese, if you got it to go, it came in almost like a little Chinese food box. Oh,
yes,
that was so good. But that was just rocking. That was one other thing. It's $5 right now, so it's a good bargain.
Yeah, that is, and they have lots of good Disney kids meals. But I think one of the things that also sets Landscape of Flavors apart from so many other quick service locations is just the sheer number of desserts. I mean, truly. And they've always had such a great dessert selection. They have sort of a bakery area, and they also have a case that has some pre-made, pre-packaged desserts for you. But listen to some of these. They have a mermaid tail cupcake, and I think so many people have seen this on the socials, but it really is a pretty cupcake. They have a strawberry shortcake cheesecake. They have a lemon blueberry cheesecake. They have a cookies and cream sundae cupcake. Then they have, of course, some premium Mickey bars and fruit bars. You can get those Mickey Mouse celebration cakes there. They will have them available both dark and white chocolate. And then they have a number of items in the bakery, from coffee cake to banana bread with streusel, by the way. They have M&M sugar cookies, Mickey shaped brownies, lemon meringue croissants. I mean, I don't know what else you could want here, but if you are wanting for something else, guess what they have, Mike? Charcuterie. Charcuterie.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they have donuts, they have cookies, they have donut holes, bagels,
right?
Sugar cookies. Like I said, the coffee cake is so good.
Oh, it is. There's something about it, right?
And you can get the glazed donut holes with chocolate sauce. Sign me up. Like, sit me by the pool and give me that.
They do. The other thing that Landscape of Flavors has is specialty coffees, which I think, for so many people, this is like an essential part of their day. So you're going to be able to get your coffee there, from an espresso to a cold brew to a latte to the shaken Jamaican, which is something that so many of the Joffrey's locations have, but it's available here as well. So lots of good stuff. And remember that the dining plan for 2024 also includes, with quick service and table service, a specialty beverage, and that can be an alcohol beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage. And here's a hot take for the quick service dining. Even if you don't want an alcoholic beverage with breakfast, you can go ahead and get it and go put it in your room and save it for later. Right?
Well, that was kind of a hot sound. I don't know.
I don't know what that was. But think about it, you could grab a beer or a wine or one of the other options that are available there in the case, and just go ahead, put it back in the room, save it for later.
You just wink at the cast member when you do it.
You're like, I'm on vacation.
It's like when they come around on the Southwest flight at 7 a.m. the 5:30 a.m. flight. They're like, yes. Would you like a Coke Zero? No, I'd like a shot of tequila.
You're like, I'm not driving the plane.
Unless they need my skills. Okay, so I'm making an executive decision here on episode 2501. Here's what we're going to do. Because this show is going long, we've just broken down Landscape of Flavors for 15 minutes. We're going to limit this show to Skyliner resorts only. You can only hit on the Skyliner. Okay, so we don't have to. So let's go Caribbean Beach. Okay, so I don't know what's Caribbean Beach is even called. We didn't even hit breakfast either. But should we hit breakfast? Let's hit some highlights of breakfast real quick over to Landscape.
All right.
Okay, so I'm hitting land because I'm here. So I mean, they got to tend to the standards. You got the bounty platter. In my opinion, if I was president, we all know that at Walt Disney World, freestyle Coke machines would be banned, because French Quarter has one, and it bugs me every time I get behind a kid. And adults aren't terrible at freestyle Coke machines, but you get behind an 8-year-old and they try to make the 102 combination concoction, and like, dude, I just want a Coke Zero, back away from the machine. Let's move on. Anyway, but bounty platters for all. They're just, everybody should have a bounty platter and a Mickey waffle. I mean, those are two things. I mean, do you need more than that at breakfast? A bounty platter, Mickey waffle. Those are two things.
I would say no to the bounty platter. It's my least favorite option.
Really?
What? It is. It truly is.
Oh my gosh, I thought I knew you.
No. I don't like it. Oftentimes it has a biscuit that I'm not happy with. I'm really just looking for some kind of egg. I don't want all the other stuff, but I will say I am a sucker for a good bagel sandwich.
I
So
can go
this,
for that. Yes, just like Hall and Oats. Yes,
yeah.
well, I say that. I guess they don't go for that. No can do, but I can. Okay.
Right. The other thing I'd be looking at is the avocado breakfast bowl, except I'm really not into Southwest style beans early in the morning. But the rest of it, potato barrels topped with scrambled eggs, cheddar, admit the beans, avocado, and salsa fresca. Yes, that sounds good.
I just like what they call their stuff, like the loaded tacho bowl.
I
And
know.
potato barrels. Like I thought that was just going to be a Toy Story Land thing, but like they're all in on calling them potato barrels. People, they're tater tots. I mean,
Don't ruin it for the people.
come on now. I thought it was just like going to be, a cute thing at Woody's what's the restaurant called in Toy Story Land? Woody's toy box,
Lunchbox. Isn't it
lunchbox.
lunchbox? Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's cute. No, they're calling them everywhere. They're just tater tots. And I mean, at Space Camp, we had them every meal. You had tater tots. There were hash browns in the morning. The same thing. They just called them tater tots at dinner and lunch, and they called them hash browns in the morning. But they're the same thing, reheated every time. They weren't fresh, but they were free. So who cared? But I was working there, so I got them for free. So yeah, but the loaded tacho bowl. Potato barrels topped with scrambled eggs, cheddar, sausage gravy, and bacon. My God, when I die and go to heaven, that's what I'm going to have for breakfast every morning. When I, don't have to worry about body. That's it. Western omelet. Yeah. And like you said, the avocado breakfast bowl. I mean, come on. Because I think everybody should have a little protein in the morning because otherwise you're going to crash. If you just have a donut. I mean,
Yes.
do what you got to do, but.
Agreed. Everyone has a breakfast that they like, but I'm with you. I need a little protein in the morning or things go bad.
Oh God, yeah. I know my body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of that. Okay, so let's go over to Caribbean Beach,
and we're at Centertown Market.
Centertown Market. Okay, so lead us off there while I type in. Probably spell it
wrong. And we're lucky. We'll start with breakfast there, but they have much of the same. They have the bounty platter. They do have a ham and cheese omelet. They have the pancakes. They have a bagel sandwich. But I think something that is sort of exclusive to them in the morning is, first of all, the Caribbean omelet, which has ham, bell peppers, onions, pico de gallo, cheddar, served with breakfast potatoes, of course. And they also have an avocado toast, which is served with oranges, pickled onion, and a sriracha mayonnaise, which I think is great too. The other thing I was looking that they had was, of course, they have those pre-made desserts that are also available at breakfast. So if you wanted something a little sweet, you could get it there as well. And I think at Centertown, what you're going to want is the key lime tart. That just seems like Caribbean Beach to me. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, get that with your 7 a.m. beer.
Yes, 100%.
Make sure you wink at the cast member when you're checking out. Okay, I got a serious question for you because I see this at all the resorts when you go to the cold freezer, not the freezer, but the case,
yeah,
where you get your stuff and they're in the cups. The steel cut oatmeal. What's that? What does that mean? Because they're always there, and I only see it at Disney. But again, I don't go to the grocery store. Pam does. So steel cut, like oats and oatmeal. It says right here. Like, what's that mean? Steel cut. Like, I don't want my food to be steel. What's that? That means healthier.
So you probably, when you think about oatmeal, you're probably thinking about traditional rolled oats where they take the oat and they sort of roll it flat, right? Steel cut is a different kind of cut of the oatmeal. It's actually a more nutty and more grain-like. It takes longer to cook. Yes, I am an oatmeal expert because my husband enjoys the steel cut oatmeal. He is a fan of that. In fact, if there's a yogurt parfait with some granola and fruit, you are like making his morning. I'm just going to say this. So yes, I know all about the steel cut oatmeal. So yes, that is going to be there. They have that in a lot of different places. They also have sort of like the overnight.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to ask, because you see steel cut and you see overnight things, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what either one of those things are, but they must be popular because they're everywhere. So, okay, if Steve had his choice, does he want the overnight oats or does he want steel cut? Like, which one's better? Because I have no
He'd probably do the overnight oats because usually that's made with a milk alternative, or you have the option. And again, there's lots of other little things that he likes. Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, I don't want that in the
this
morning.
is
I
why
want my egg. Can you please just get me an egg?
this is why today's show is educational right there. Now you know
I
overnight
know.
steel cut because I had no idea. Okay, let's go to a lunch and dinner over at Caribbean Beach. Man, some good stuff here on the menu though, especially like, I mean, because again, I like how Disney will make the menus, even at the moderates and the values, meet the theming of the resort, right? So,
Agree.
so of course you're going to have things that, and I'll tell you here again, you guys know, especially the folks that are in the clubhouse. Like sometimes I'll post my lunch. I have the exact same lunch at the exact same time at my kitchen table, watching Pressure Luck on my iPad. I have a turkey sandwich, baked chips, Coke Zero, and some 0-calorie pickles. That's what I have every day for lunch. But when I go to Caribbean Beach, I always get the hot Cuban. It's so good because I love the hot Cuban. But I mean, they have, you know, they have good stuff here, which I should kind of step outside the box. So what do you get when you go over here for like lunch?
So I would get this for dinner, probably not lunch, but I am a sucker for the half of a roasted chicken. Like I always feel like, first of all, I'm getting the deal of the century, right? Because you literally get a whole half of a chicken. I mean, I think that that's a cool thing. But at Caribbean Beach, you're also going to have your sides of cilantro rice and a seasonal vegetable, which I mean, I think is really great. But when I'm looking here, this mixed grill platter, which includes some of the citrus marinated chicken, barbecue pork ribs, and some grilled andouille sausage served with fried yucca, seasonal vegetable, and a creamy mango coleslaw, plus a roll. Again, you're going to be able to use your quick service credit for that. That sounds like something that two people could probably split if they wanted to. And it's such a unique offering, again, at a quick service location that's really themed to the resort and just part of the big picture, like they're doing, at so many of the quick service locations.
And I think too, kind of a hot tip, and I think Scott does this, and we do this as a family, and I know you guys do this too. We all kind of do this. And I don't know how many of our listeners do this, they probably do. But when you're going to a place like this, order 2 entrees and just like you said, split them. And so with that platter, I might get the Cuban. And so Pam doesn't like Cubans, so this doesn't really work for us. But, like split the sandwich in half if we like the same things. Give her half the sandwich. I get to have, now I'm entitled to half of that platter, and you get 2 meals and you get to have 2 tastes in 1 meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on vacation, try different things. Like that work great for me because I'll eat anything, but it doesn't work great for my family because my other 3 family members are super picky. So I get the short end of the deal.
You don't get to try as many.
Like I don't, but I mean, I think that's a great way to really, every meal you get to have 2, instead of ordering 1 entree and like, okay, I get the Cuban because I'm jazzed about that. Because I'm also curious about, like you say, or, like this swashbuckler, the hamburger. There's a swashbuckler burger, because again, it's Caribbean, right? So there's a burger that's got, all kinds of stuff on it. It's got some like jalapeno jam, which I would be like, oh, I want to have that jam on my burger. That'd be really good.
Right.
And stuff like that. It's got a, I'd want to give that a shot. But I'm also, tied. I got to have my Cuban. I'd regret if I don't get my Cuban. But I get to have half and half. Okay, now I'm a happy Mike, but I can't because nobody's getting the swashbuckler burger, but I wish somebody would, so I don't know. But you guys probably do that. You order.
We do all the time. So we both are more adventurous, for sure. But I agree, that swashbuckler burger, that looks really good. And the pulled pork sandwich has sort of a Caribbean flair. It's rum mango barbecue pulled pork sandwich.
Oh, man.
So that looks good, right? And then in the entree selection, they have a few yummy looking things that again are keeping with the theme of the resort, including fish tacos and a chicken bowl, which those of you who go to Chipotle will probably be familiar with that. And a crispy pork carnita served with Spanish style rice and beans and pickled onions and crispy plantains. I mean, these are all things that you're not thinking of when you're thinking of typical theme park food. And I think it's awesome that they have them here.
Yep. And again, they have kind of the same stuff, like the desserts and all that are kind of the same. They're the big bakery. So
They do.
good stuff there. Okay, let's for time's sake, let's head over to one of my favorite places on the Skyliner. You know where I want to go.
I do. Primo Piatto,
Yep.
right?
I'm already typing it in. Primo Piatto. The Riviera, the Riv.
Yeah.
And check it out. So let's start with breakfast. And of course, my favorite breakfast thing of all time, which, man, you can't have this often, but when you have it, you got to have a big smile on your face. It's the Madame Croque. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. The Croque Madame. I was saying it the wrong way. There it is. It's got a star next to it. It's so good. What's a star mean? We're gonna find what that is. There's a star next to it. What does that even mean? What's that mean, Pam? Do you see
I
it?
don't know. I don't.
There's an asterisk. What does that mean? We're gonna find it. Does that mean it's going away? Holy! And the turkey bagel sandwich has.
Consuming raw or undercooked meat, poultry, shellfish, or eggs may result
dude,
increase your.
I will take my chances. And if it was, I mean, I've had so many of those things, and I am still here, so it hasn't killed me yet. So I will keep taking my chances with that. Oh my god! So let me just people that don't know. The Croque Madame, classic French ham and Swiss with a fried egg served with choice of side. And then the warning. Trust me, forget the warning. It's worth it. I mean,
it's just a dippy egg, people. It's just a dippy egg.
I mean, they could be like, we're going to throw axes at you while you're strapped to a rotating disc, like in the 70s game show. And I'd be cool with that if it meant I got to eat this sandwich.
That's so funny. So I will say Primo Piatto is the one place where I actually like the breakfast platter. And the reason being, it is a very different breakfast platter. It has scrambled eggs. It has creamy mascarpone polenta. It has bacon and sausage. This polenta is so good. It is worth getting that. It just truly, truly is, just for that. But they also have some other yummy stuff. I know that Hannah is a huge fan of the blueberry lemon pancakes. They're so good. They're so light. They're just yummy. And of course, they have a breakfast pizza, which I think is always a solid choice.
Well, I've had that breakfast pizza because, the thing is, here's the deal. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I've stayed at Caribbean Beach. At Caribbean Beach for breakfast, I go over to Primo Piatto every day. I do not eat breakfast at Caribbean Beach. The thing is, like, let's be honest. It's just Primo Piatto is a great table or counter service restaurant. And if you're staying in Jamaica or Aruba or Martinique, you are so close. Like I run every morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I run 10 miles. What's a quarter of a mile to walk over to Primo Piatto, and I'm mobile order. So by the time I get there, like, they're like, Mike, I'm like, yes, sit down and I'm ready. I mean, I'm ready to rock. And the thing is, we haven't even talked atmosphere. Primo Piatto, the atmosphere in there is just chef's kiss. It's great.
It is. It's fun. And it has an outdoor tables too near there. So you can eat there as well. Watch a little bocce or some chess going on. And I think it's really and truly a complete location.
And also, Caribbean Beach's atmosphere, like for a food court, they have inside seating and outside seating, and it's fun. Like, I mean, it matches the theme. I enjoy sitting outside and having a sandwich, and you can't rent the boats anymore at Caribbean Beach, but like, we've had many sandwiches for lunch over at Caribbean Beach and like sat and watched the lighthouse and just kind of, because there's a great view of the Riviera and watching the Skyliners, go here and from. That's a great view too.
Yeah, there is. And at Caribbean Beach too, from a location right outside, actually Centertown, if you're there at night, you can see the tops of the Epcot fireworks. So that's a great location to see that as well.
Yeah. So that is kind of the, folks listen to our show know all the tricks and the things to think about. But when you stay at Caribbean Beach, you are getting that +1 of the Riviera with the dining options and a second Skyliner station. It is really a bonus that you gotta consider when you do that. All right, let's look at lunch. They got lunch, dinner, and they also have a category late night dining.
Which is nice.
Dude, I'm like, they got a pull down for late night dining. We'll have to check that out. All right, let's look at lunch and dinner. The Riviera cookie. What? Okay, so I'm looking at dinner. So what do we got over at dinner that sticks out to you for Primo Piatto?
Well, they have a beef bolognese, which I think is, uh, kind of interesting for Riviera. It's not just the spaghetti and meatballs, it's different than that. They have some yummy looking hot sandwiches though, Mike, and I wonder if you feel the same about the croque monsieur as you do the croque madame.
Yes,
So
I've had that a bunch of times too. I don't know. Should my middle name have been Croak? I mean,
maybe.
my middle name is Charles. I mean, maybe that translates to French to croak. I don't know.
But yes, it's yummy because it is a classic ham and cheese sandwich, but it's more than that. It's sort of like you take a ham and cheese sandwich and sort of almost like dip it in like a batter and then fry it, sort of like that. With that, do you feel like that
Yes.
accurately describes it?
And that's why, like, I swear by the end of my vacation, I was like, I cannot. I'm glad I'm going home because I love going here for breakfast every morning. But I mean, I know I can't do this like any more days. Like, because I was hooked on these fried sandwiches. And I just know, like, like your brain's telling you, like, these things are so dang good that you cannot do this. Like, when you get off the ship, like on a cruise, like, like it's time, Mike. You got to go back to eating turkey sandwiches that are not fried and not have cheese wrapped around them. Like you can do this for a little bit, but just a little bit, and go back to reality. That's what Primo Piatto told me. Like, you've had the good life, now get out. It's so good though. Oh my god. Yeah.
And even their burgers are a blend of brisket and chuck, so I think that makes them sort of a step above. They also have a grilled chicken sandwich, which I've had a few times because it has a tomato spread and spinach and an artichoke spread, as well as mozzarella, and it's served on focaccia, so that's yummy too. But they have cold sandwiches. They have salads, including a tuna niçoise salad, which is rare tuna, and it's served with potatoes and green beans and olives, along with a hard-boiled egg. So that's yum too. But I think too, Primo Piatti has a huge grab and go section that I see lots of people grabbing the cold sandwiches from.
Yeah, and their fries too are rocking. They have those Parmesan fries.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Man, those fries are so good too. So don't sleep on the fries.
I
Yeah.
know. And when you look at their kids' meals too, like one of the choices for their kids' meals is sauteed shrimp. I mean,
Dude,
that
that's a sophisticated kid. I mean, just chicken strips for my. I mean, dude, my kid, I'd fall out if my kid ordered that. But I'm just saying, some kids, I guess, do.
And again, look at their desserts. They have tiramisu. They have a fruits rouge cheesecake, which looks really good. It is vanilla cheesecakes with strawberry jam and raspberries. Yum. They also have an Italian buttercream cupcake, which sounds fantastic. And they have gelato. I don't know if there's something, things aren't much better than gelato. So
Yeah, and they have Riviera cookie box from the bakery. Riviera cookie box.
Well,
I mean, what, like some Forrest Gump delivers you? Like, we don't know what kind of cookies are going to be in the Riviera cookie box. They're probably all going to be good.
I think that exclusive to Riviera.
Exactly. That sounds great. Bring it. All right. So I'm just going to hit that late night and see what it says. The curiosity got the cat here. Let's see what it says. Late night dining. I just got to see. You got the Riviera cookie. It's probably all the same stuff. Yeah, it's pretty much. Oh, it's
just a smaller,
snacks. Yeah, they're just getting rid of all the stuff. It's hard to make. Okay, so I guess since we've hit Caribbean Beach, we've hit in the Riv, we've hit in Art of I guess we just should hit Pop real quick. Yeah, real quick. I mean, it's very similar to
Landscape.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really hit it, but let's hit it here real quick.
They have a different looking burger there too.
They do. That's actually one of my favorite. You stay at Pop all the time. I tear this place up all the time. So wait, I hit what's it? I got the restaurant or the store. Wait, everything Pop and Dining. Why isn't it showing the food court or the menu?
Maybe
food. I hit food.
They have, so that burger I think is the porchetta porchetta burger. It's a beef burger topped with porchetta style pork, fried egg, herb dressing, and pork crackling. Mike, that sounds like it's up your alley because you like a burger with an egg sometimes. So,
Oh, I'm all about any kind of Red Robin. Exactly. Bring it.
anything with an egg, a burger with an egg. They also have a grilled chicken sandwich, which is topped again with a mozzarella and a basil aioli and balsamic and arugula and tomato on a brioche bun. So that sounds good too. How about that foot long hot dog? Have you ever gotten the hot dog at Everything Pop?
I haven't gotten the hot dog. I'm trying to find, because I just got to the website because I am website impaired here. But I did get, there's a burger that I had. It's not on the menu. It must have been a specialty item, but I had some just obnoxious burger one time. It is probably just, like during like a holiday or something. It was all over me. It wasn't just the one with the egg. It had like onion rings and barbecue sauce. It was a mess. It was so good though. But they still have, I'm looking because I just got on the site here. I don't see it. Remember back when they used to, like at Pop, they would have like Mom's Night Out and like the chicken.
Yes,
they still did that kind of stuff. They don't do that anymore.
It says additional rotation selection of specialty offerings available for dine-in. So I think that those are there. I think it does depend on what night you're there though. But I think they do have a typical rotation, and it used to be things like fried chicken, meatloaf, whatnot.
Yep. They kind of made it like super special, like that, because it'd be that one bay, be like, yeah, because like throughout your trip, like, oh, one night it was fried chicken, one night it was meatloaf, one night it was roast beef, or like a pot roast, kind of stuff like that. And I thought that made it kind of homey, right? It made it kind of fit the theme.
It did.
It was kind of fun, but yeah, so. Again, honey barbecue pork sandwiches here, ham and cheese, meatball subs, the big hot dog. This is going to be a place that's really safe. But what I did like was that they always did have the one window that kind of had kind of a home style meal. Basically like what you get at like 50s prime time.
Yeah, it did feel that way. And I think too, even their dessert selection sort of harkens back to a different age because they have banana pudding cheesecake. They're sort of taking banana pudding and cheesecake, doing a mashup like that. They have a flashback oatmeal cream pie, which is an oatmeal raisin cookie sandwich filled with marshmallow cream and topped with dark chocolate and cinnamon glaze. So that sounds really good too. But Mike, I know what you're getting there.
Well, I always get the tie-dye cheesecake. I still always get it every trip because it's tradition. I think it is tradition for tons of us that are fans of Pop Century. I wish it was still the wedge. Now it's in a cup.
I know
the wedge, but it's a cup. But I mean, we gotta change. I don't look the same as I did when Pop Century opened either. So we all change. So we're okay with that. There is a s'mores cookie, which my wife is a huge s'mores fan. Chocolate chip cookie loaded down with toasted marshmallow cream, topped with crunchy cinnamon graham streusel, drizzled with dark and white chocolate. I mean, $6.29. Good snack. Pop Goes Bananas cupcake. I'm allergic to bananas, but sounds good. Yellow cupcake filled with caramelized banana in a pastry cream, topped with caramel latte buttercream. Oof. Yeah,
that sounds good.
I mean, there's so many, and again, just lots of options because they have the bakery there.
They do, and of particular interest to me is that PB&J croissant, which I don't think I've ever had, but now it makes me want to go over there and get it.
Yeah, same. I love peanut butter and jelly, everything.
Right. So yes, I would be on board with that. Another thing to note that all these locations definitely have those that have food sensitivities, allergies, or just, if you're vegetarian or vegan, make sure that you ask because they're going to have things that are available to you. And they all seem to be having at least a couple of specialty coffees. And I think maybe Disney was feeling like they were missing out on a revenue opportunity, right? They were like,
the coffee.
I know.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink any coffee, but God, they have a ton of coffee.
They do. They do. So something to think about if you're looking there too. Do they have the Coke machines here at Pop?
No. That's why I love Pop Century. For the love of God, they just have the fountains. And so they have Coke Zero. So I can just go straight and get my business done, right? I mean, it's how it should be, right? Just go to the spout, put your thing under there. Now they do have, of course, we're in 2024, so you got the refill, you got your RFID thing on there, making sure you don't, God bless, you get too much Coke. But that's what it is. I'm fine with that. But at least you don't have the kid over at French Quarter going, I'm gonna make the 17 ingredients ultimate raspberry Fanta,
lemonade, limeade,
Coke Zero, sugar, Diet Coke combo thing. Like, kid, get out of here. You're 8. Just get a Coke.
Exactly. It is. And I think it was cool to just do the ones on the Skyliner, because literally these restaurants are available to anyone as long as you can get on the Skyliner. So if you're at Hollywood Studios or if you're at Epcot, you can go to the Skyliner at those two parks and experience these. And I will say, during the day, sometimes it's really nice to just get out of the parks for a little bit.
I agree. You're studios, you're at Epcot. I mean, it's kind of hard to leave Epcot. There's a lot of great dining, especially Connections. Or Connections. Why am I thinking? I'm second guessing myself.
Connections Cafe, yeah.
Connections. Is I'm thinking Creations. No, it's Connections. Oh my gosh, today it's a brain fart. But yeah, and plus I wanted to throw in here too, pizzas. So yes. If you want to go back to your room at Art of Animation or Pop Century or, over at Caribbean Beach, they do have pizzas you can take back to the room. Or, I mean, if you want to really be a baller and do, movies under the stars with your family and have a pizza. I mean, how about that for a night?
You can order a whole pizza. I know. And let me tell you,
with under the stars, that's a night right there.
I have been the person who sees the mom or dad walk over with a whole pizza to their family at Movies Under the Stars and been like, light bulb, what just happened here?
Rolling up the first day of school in a limo kind of move right there.
Yes, 100%. I am like, this person was thinking, they planned it, and here they are with it, looking like the stars. There is not one family out there who was sitting there watching the movie Under the Stars that wasn't like, I'm gonna go over and offer them $5 for a slice of pizza.
Oh, you just took your kid. This is how it goes, right? This is exactly how it goes. You just took your whole family to Chef Mickey's an hour ago, right? And you just spent $300, on this meal, and you just pulled off like the coup of the century doing this, right? You just had the greatest meal. You just met all the characters, got all the autographs. And this, this other family rolls up to Movies of the Stars and 90 minutes later with a cheese pizza in a box.
100%.
And your family's like,
do you just walk away from that being like, woo, woo?
That just one for me, because I'm like, I would have been the guy who would just spend all this time up in the middle of the night to get the ADR at 60 days for Chef Mickey, spend all the money, and then dad next to me rolls up with a cheese pizza and just won Dad of the Year.
Right, exactly. And your family's like, you spent $500 on dinner, but wah.
Totally, that's why
why didn't you get us a pizza that we can eat at Movie Under the Stars?
You guys, whatever. I'll get you a cookie. You'll like it.
To get your whole family cookies, you probably are spending more than you spend on the pizza.
I know. Anyway, that's just how life goes.
It is.
Oh, well, hey, that was a good things to think about for quick service dining on the Skyliner to use those credits on the Disney dining plan.
Yeah, I agree. Lots of great options there. I mean, you don't just have to stay in the parks, my friends. You can use the Skyliner and the world is your oyster.
Right. And oysters possibly on the dining plan too. So thanks to Cindy Lou 75 over in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse for that show suggestion. And of course, we'll explore this more because we have other resorts to talk about. We got Disney Springs. We can go into the parks. So this will take us many places throughout the summer. We're just getting going. So thank you for that. And you can join us over in the clubhouse. We talk Disney 24/7. We'd love to have you over there. If you're not there yet, come on over. It's free. No ads, no nonsense, just fun Disney talk with our great community. Coming over today at beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. All right. Our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get ready for your next Disney adventure. Get it on the books, just to get that thing planned. It gives you optimism, it gives you something to look forward to throughout the summer and moving forward, whether you're headed to Disney land out in the West Coast, Walt Disney World, the Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney. We just want to help you have an amazing adventure, no cost to you. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all these shows possible. A big thank you for that. And you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest for thank you for supporting us. Just $5 a month. Coming over patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Pam is a great follow on the social media. Give her a follow, TMFLT Pam. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. We'd love to have you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. And of course, we'll have the live call-in show this weekend, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Scott joins me and we take your calls and you can be a part of the show. We'd love to hear from you on Sunday night. All right, time to get out of here. Pam is headed out to get some great content for all of us here on the show. She'll be back here shortly and telling us all about Tiana's Bayou Adventure, all about the new island with Disney Cruise Line, a little bit about the Disney Magic, because we haven't talked about that lately. Drew's going to have a lot of great content. She's going to have a great time on our behalf. And we'll, of course, have the shows coming out. Scott will be joining us, Ricky, and our guests here on Monday. So thanks, as always, for your support. We'll keep the shows trudging right along, just having a good time as we do. We love having these podcasts, and we love having you right here with us. So for Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Friday and an awesome weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All righty.
Boom.
That's fun.
Now I'm really hungry.
Dude, I'm starving.
Like you're going to be able to get dinner early tonight.
I know. Actually, instead of Taco Bell, I get to go eat extra something decent.
Oh, there you go.
I know. I'm super excited about that because I had Taco Bell last night. I usually have it on Sunday and Monday, so no Taco Bell tonight. We'll just we might have pizza.
Yo quiero.
Pizza. Yep.
All right, cool. All right, I will not be here next Monday, but I will be back
2 weeks.
Following Monday. Yes.
All right. We'll have a good time. Make sure.
All right. I'll see you. All right. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right. I will see you all later. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Take care, guys. See ya. Mohawk. Have fun over in Scotland. Good talking to you. See you, Nichelle. Everybody.